Hey yo, thanks for playing. Let's get started with the credits, shall we? Let's hope we can no hit them. All right, we're doing great so far. Haven't gotten hit once. Okay. Mr. Peter in all caps. There's Rise. Shoutouts to Rise. Squiggly Wiggly. I'd also like to say something. I want you to know that, despite your mistakes... Excuse me? I was thinking about whether I was going to be kind with my review, but I don't know about that. You are awesome, and you deserve love and attention. Remember that, okay? Take care of yourself, Newbert. Alright. So Outertale. Do we not get to go back to the menu anymore, or I guess we just have a blank screen with Outertale origin music. So I think the ruins was probably my favorite area, or at least the ruins equivalent of this game. I think it did a lot of fun things. I think it was just different enough to not feel like it was just rehashing the original. And a lot of the enemies and their patterns seem to be pretty fun. I actually really enjoyed the fights in that particular section. Snowden seemed to expand the area and have a lot of different sections, but it felt very samey. A lot of the dialogue and enemies were just copy-pasted from the original. And I really don't think they play-tested... I know Rise play-tested the fights, but I just don't think the Foundry was tested at all before it was released. Number one, we found 4 typos. That's kind of extreme, just in one section. The area is so dark in the background that you can't see where you're going. And there are encounters in rooms that nobody should put encounters in. Number one, the earlier puzzles. You should not have encounters in a puzzle room. I can't believe I'm having to say that. And the laser beams, when they're interacting with these obelisks or whatever, it's not clear because they just kind of pass through them. If it's too high, if it's too low, or what you need to do to get them. We even had encounters in the room with an ice cream man. I don't understand why they put encounters everywhere. And they weren't... They seem to be very Mold Small leaning. They lean towards a ton of Mold Small encounters. Again, I think the game doesn't have enough of its own core identity. I think it has amazing music and great great designs in certain areas, but not the Foundry. If you stop before playing the Foundry, I would still continue to stop before playing the Foundry. If there was a way to just do the boss fights individually, I would lean towards doing that. I do think maybe it might have better potential going forward, but to go from what they did with Snowden to what they did in the Foundry, I'm kind of scared for the rest of the project, because this seems like it's the least polished. Even the piano clue room was so dark, you could barely see the solution. I had to have Sansi tell me what the piano inputs were, because it just was so dark compared to the rest of the game. But let's see, you'll be like Unify when you have a demo going. You haven't seen a new fan game in years. If the ending's the same as Outertale, I'll be disappointed. Like this area just was not designed well. It tried to do what Toby Fox did with the Echo Flowers, but it spaced them out weird. There was a room full of Echo Flowers that was literally just designed like this. It was just literally an up, right, down, right, up, right, down, right type of a design. And they decided we're just going to put Echo Flowers like equidistant or every now and so often to have text. But if you're a casual player and you have a room that is designed like this, like that is the laziest way to artificially lengthen a room I've ever seen. You should either have a different way of exploring your story or do something other than this, because this is not fun, especially if you're trying to just casually pass through an area. But overall, I definitely am going to download the soundtrack after that, and I appreciate all the company I got today. There's a lot more people than I thought that showed up. You have 40 blobber points, way to go. I think you're like Sansi. Sansi tends to dump all of his points as well whenever he gets them accumulated, mainly to help hydrate me and hydrate everybody else. 40 blobberts. Alright, well, that will do it for today. It is 2:03 p.m. I need to go for my walk, and I will see everybody in their respective Discords.